Good morning, everybody. This is the first edition of what I'm going to be calling Phenomenal Monday. This is my first time, so excuse me if I'm stumbling over my words a little bit, it's a little off. But this is going to be for students, educators, or anybody really in the general world who needs a little motivation or a little boost on a Monday. The first message that I wanted to just speak to y'all about is about knowing your worth. A huge part of my narrative is just being that kid who a lot of people had a lot of hope in and had a lot of potential, but I wasn't living up to it. In a sense, I in a way knew my worth, but I really wasn't acting on it. So it wasn't showing in my actions. I knew I had a brain, I knew I was smart, but I really didn't have the work ethic or the drive that really went into it. Until I discovered my purpose of working with kids, it's the phenomenal student, all those things come about it because they are my why. So it took me a while to really know my worth. And even through the process, and guys put me through a lot of character training and a lot of things, I still have further discovered really what my work is as I kind of go through my career and went through all the challenges that come along with it. So the first thing to go on with knowing your worth, I want to talk about the fact that no matter what anybody really says to you or try to come at you with, you still have to know your worth. People are going to try to demean you. They're going to try to down talk you. They're going to try to make you feel small so they can feel tall. I've seen situations, I've been in a situation now in my career where people have told me to keep my ideas, then go and steal them a month later or 6 months later. And it's kind of always been very just deflating them, like, how are you going to sit there and say that my idea is to keep them, but at the same time, you're going to steal them. But with teaching, they say teachers are the biggest thieves, one of my friends would say. But you can't really just get down on that. I would say just come up with something different, but people are going to do that. You have to understand that people are going to do that. There are people that just it has the main thing you have to remember, it has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with them. That's the most important thing that you must remember in all of this. Don't ever get down on yourself because of what somebody else says about you. As Medea would say, it's not what they call you, it's what you answer to. That's the most important thing I want y'all to remember. Don't get caught up on what others have to say. It's not what they call you, it's what you answer to. All right, my second point, and it's something really is in a way kind of touched close to home to me, is the great American philosopher Drake. I know Drake, he says that, sometimes your idols become your rivals. And I've seen with teaching, there are people that mentor you and try to develop you. And then at the same time, when you try to rise and really take those trait things that they taught you and try to rise to a level where you're a peer with them directly, and then you're on the same level or you're pushing to do big things, and sometimes they get a little frosty. It's like, oh, I've given them too much information. Or at that point, they still feel that you're like their mentee or a person that's under them. So they're going to sit there and still try to talk to you like they talked to you then. At the end of the day, that doesn't mean you don't show them deference because they did help you along. But at the same time, that don't mean you have to like be down to yourself and sort of then allow them to do that. Because at the end of the day, with that, you're out of their comfort zone now. But you have to remember it's their comfort zone, not yours. So remember that you have to know your worth in that situation as well. That don't mean you dismiss the person or do anything like that. But at the same time, they have to understand at that point that, look, this is where I'm at now. If you're not comfortable with that, then you can, do you. But at the same time, let us be peers so we can grow together now, as we were before. But now it may be a situation where why don't you listen to what I have to say? But at the same time, don't sit up there and try to down talk me or something like that because you did help me before. Now, that's both of us do. We need to do if we're educators for kids or in your arena, whatever it is for the business. So I just want y'all to kind of understand that. So I don't want to make this ain't gonna be something that's gonna be super long. It's just a good little boost on a Monday morning. So I just want y'all to remember, as I will end every phenomenal Monday from here on out, be phenomenal, and I'll see y'all next week.